2:15. And now another battle begins in the U.S. Senate. Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell went on the record from his hideaway office on Capitol Hill. Senator, nice to see you, sir.
Good to see you, Greta.
I like your little hideaway here in the U.S. Capitol.
Pretty nice little room.
Indeed it is. All right, Saturday night, a squeaker for the Democrats in the House of Representatives. What do you think about it?
Well, they broke enough arms to finally get it over the top, but they lost 1 out of 7 Democrats in the House who I think were responding to the American people's opposition to this bill. All the polls now indicate substantial opposition to this particular type of health care reform, particularly, do you note, deep-seated opposition among senior citizens.
So how do you break those arms or twist those arms to get those votes sort of on the eve of such a historic vote? I mean, what do you do? Because it was close. It's 2 votes.
Well, I think what the president was saying was that it was about him and his administration, not about the substance. I mean, they all understood that the substance was not supported by the American people. And I think they probably responded to an appeal by the president that this was about the success of his administration, about passing his signature subject, and I think in the end party loyalty got him over the top, but there were, as I said, 1 out of 7 who understood the American people were not for this.
Well, that's sort of an odd way to cast a vote, out of loyalty rather than out of substance, if indeed you're right. And if the vote is about the president's administration, what happens when it goes over to the Senate? Is he going to get that same vote here?
Well, a lot of congressmen on both sides are in safe districts, don't have any real competition, so they have a lot of latitude. Over here, we all represent entire states. Most of the seats are not just totally safe. You have to compete, but the third of the Senate will be up every 2 years, and there are a number of Democratic senators over here from reddish states, Republican-type states, who know that there's overwhelming opposition back home. In addition to that, in the Senate, you have to get 60 votes. You have to get more than a simple majority to do almost everything, and certainly something this controversial. So the challenge the Democratic leadership has over here is to try to figure out if there are enough Democrats who will take a bullet for the team to pass a really bad bill, which we know at its core will raise taxes, cut Medicare, and increase premiums for all Americans who have health insurance now.
Do you expect it to be, whenever this vote occurs, do you expect it to be a squeaker like the House or not? I mean, it's sort of getting your hands on what's happening here among the different members, Republicans and Democrats. Do you expect a squeaker vote here? Yeah,
it won't be a landslide. I mean, they'll be lucky to be able to pass it. I think passing it is very much in doubt in the Senate. You know, all of the Republicans are opposed to it. Many of the Democrats are opposed to it. It'll be interesting to see how they try to get 60 votes, because they're going to have to convince a significant number of Democrats, basically, to take a bullet for the team.
When do you expect this vote to occur in the Senate?
Well, that'll be up to Senator Reid. I mean, he'll have to get 60 votes to start the debate and 60 votes to end the debate, and he'll have to decide at what point he has enough votes to begin the debate. And we'll be listening to what he has to say, because I'm sure they've been bringing their members in one by one. I know they have been, trying to convince them to even start the debate. And we're a long way from finishing it. To give you a timetable in the Senate, we spent 4 weeks last Congress on a farm bill. Within the last 10 years, we've spent 8 weeks on an energy bill. This will be a multi-week mini-amendment process in the United States Senate on a bill of this magnitude, which seeks to reorganize 1/6 of our economy.
Tactically, when do you think Senator Reid would like to see that vote, sooner or later? Would he like a little breathing room, or does he want to hurry and do this on the sort of the wave of what's going on in the House?
I think it's going to depend entirely on his vote count. He's going to want to go to it when he thinks he's got the votes.
How does it actually work? He actually brings a U.S. senator in when a member of his party sits him down and says, you know, where do you stand? Is that, or are the ones who are sort of uncertain? How do is that? They actually come into his office?
Yeah, I think so. Where do you stand, and what do you need? You know, I'm told there are all kinds of special deals cut over on the House side in order to get enough Democrats to pass it. My guess is the same process will go on over here.
And then after the Senate vote, I mean, first it's got to get to the floor. There's got to get a vote. That's not the end of the game then. It's still got to be reconciled, whatever comes out of the Senate with the House.
Yeah, I mean, whatever passes the Senate, if something does pass, and I hope it doesn't, needs to be reconciled with the House version, and then it'll go back to both houses for a final vote. And that vote, too, will require 60 votes in the Senate.
Senator, thank you, sir.
Thank you, Greta.
Nice to see you.